I hate how they don't give you any time in between.
Spock, where do you think we should start looking for this? Brassica?
Logic suggests that they will present us with opportunities to come to them.
Captain, a message from Starfleet.
On screen.
Captain, the USS Regulus has been forced to cancel its survey mission to the Antares Rift. We've decided to redirect the Enterprise to that mission. The USS Hood will take over for your current assignment.
Of course, the Antares Rift has a rather dangerous reputation.
Nothing the Enterprise can't handle. But be careful. Starfleet out.
Actually. Yeah, oh, I can actually do subtitles. Alright, so...
The Antares Rift. It should be a most interesting assignment.
How so, Spock?
There have been several attempts to chart it. All expeditions into the Rift vanished, without a trace.
But those expeditions were years ago. Our starships are far more capable than they were during the time of those attempts.
Captain, a 10-year-old child is far more capable than a 3-year-old child. But there are many problems that neither child can solve.
Oh boy. Okay, let's get right into it.
I have consulted the log entries on the Rift in our computer. I would recommend that you do the same, even though they do not provide that much additional information.
Well, where are we heading again? Antares?
I have consulted the log entries on the Rift in our computer. I would recommend that you do the same, even though they do not provide that much additional information.
Hailing frequencies are open, Captain.
I have consulted the log entries on...
Antares Rift, an area of unstable space near the star Antares. Little is known of its properties. There have been numerous disappearances in this area.
Okay. Well, I did look up where it was, at least. This little red thing right here. Here we go. Here we go. Everything, including the planets, they all look like this pinkish color. I don't understand why.
Captain's log, stardate 6257.6. We have entered the Antares Rift and found spatial disruptions in the rift that make using warp engines extremely dangerous. Repairs are almost complete on the minor damage we suffered upon entry into the rift. We are continuing our survey using impulse engines.
My poor babies. Warp engines were meant to be used, Captain.
Communications are back online, Captain.
Deflectors at 93% power and increasing.
Captain, undoubtedly, that phenomenon would explain many of the strange disappearances in this sector. Still, with our warp engines deactivated, our computers indicate we will be safe.
Nope.
Communications are out again, Captain. Is anyone hurt?
If you as human, Mr. Spock's pride might be...
Captain, sensors failed to indicate anything unusual prior to the explosion. I would speculate that it was caused by an extremely unusual rift in the space-time continuum, a place where radically different physical laws apply.
And since it was different space-time, our sensors weren't programmed to detect it.
And it could happen again at any time without warning.
Okay.
Status, Mr. Chekhov.
Captain, navigation is not responding. The circuits are as lifeless as a Stalinist.
A Stalinist. Oh, nice.
Status, Mr. Sulu.
Helm is not responding, Captain. The controls are completely dead.
Scotty, what's our status?
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the Enterprise hit us right in our own neighborhood. The hull is breached 6 meters from the bridge. Beyond that, the instruments are useless. I can't read or send anything through these controls. We'll need a starbase to make this bridge functional again.
Scotty, how about auxiliary control?
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything beyond the place where the rupture occurred. The rest of the ship could be dead as far as we know.
Ideas, Mr. Walker?
I'm a security guard, sir, not an idea man. Still, if we could
Whoa.
send out probes to detect these rifts, we might get a better idea on whether they're moving or not, and whether we should stop and make repairs, or keep moving.
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now. We may be able to enter codes into the library computer and instruct others to send messages to us.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these spatial rifts and pilot the Enterprise to avoid them. However, the sensors are too heavily damaged here. I will need to get to auxiliary control as soon as possible if I am to reroute the necessary systems.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached just outside of the bridge. No one's going to be able to leave the bridge for at least an hour unless they're transported out.
We need to make communicating with the rest of the ship our first priority.
Okay. Well, communicate.
Captain, there's got to be a better way to handle this. Sir? Please explain that order.
No, I want Scotty.
Captain, these controls are useless.
Okay, let's try Spock.
Captain, the library computer is online. Apparently, its circuits were shielded from the explosion.
Oh, nice.
Captain, I have managed to program a message into the library computer. The first time a person accesses the computer, they will read our distress signal. Hopefully, they can code a reply into the computer, which we can access. Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these spatial rifts.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached.
We need to make communicating with the rest of the ship.
Captain, the transporters are operational. I request permission to be transported so I can begin the adjustments to sensors as soon as possible.
Go ahead, Spock. No, Spock, I'll go first. Go ahead, Spock. Spock!
Oh. What was that?
Spock, what happened to him?
Captain, what was that thing?
I don't know, Mr. Chekhov, but I intend to find out.
The controls are still not functioning, Captain.
Captain, this bridge is useless. For our own sake as well as Spock's, we have to find a way to get out of here.
Captain, that thing with the 4 arms wasn't Mr. Spock, was it? That beam wasn't some sort of transmutation beam, was it?
I don't think so, Mr. Walker, but the two have to be connected.
Captain, we need to get off the bridge. I recommend we keep monitoring the science station and see if anyone answers our messages. Captain, I've already said they're useless. I might be able to...
I can take care of that, Captain.
Oh, okay, Sulu. I thought she would, because she said we need to monitor.
I'm patching your log into the computer. You should have voice messages.
Captain, we've managed to jury-rig an evacuation tube through the bridge turbo lift. We should be able to keep it stable long enough for you to be evacuated.
The controls are still not functioning, Captain.
Captain, what was that?
I don't know, Mr. Jack.
Alright, are we... They said the turbo lift, so are we all... Alright, we're evacuating the bridge. Alright, hold on. Forgot to bring up my stream manager on my phone. Alright, so auxiliary control, bridge, sick bay, transporter room. Engineering. Why is engineering? Why wouldn't engineering be down here? Why is engineering back here? I always thought that engineering was down in the battles section. That's odd. Okay. Okay, well, we need to go to auxiliary control, I think. At least we'll start, or we'll stop
Captain's
here.
log.
Where's
After
Uhura?
equipping ourselves with tricorders and
Scotty.
phasers, we are now searching for a way to find Spock and return him to us. I've determined that the best place to start.
Oh.
Captain, it's a very good thing we took the warp engines offline.
How bad is it, Scotty?
That explosion was 42% stronger than the one that struck near the bridge. Our lift warp nacelle is crippled, Captain.
I hope it's not a trend. Keep me posted, Mr. Scott. Kirk out.
Awaiting orders, Captain.
I'd feel more comfortable, Captain, if we knew what happened to Mr. Spock.
Well, they say the price of freedom is eternal vigilance.
What does that mean, Sulu? That we should have been more vigilant? How could we, if the sensor said nothing?
Well, maybe if Starfleet sensor designers would be quicker to modify their sensors to react to new phenomena.
You two are as bad as Spock and McCoy.
Nice. I like how I'm getting more different characters. I'm getting Chekhov and Sulu in this mission, and I guess Walker, whoever that is. Okay. Yes, there we go.
Deck layout screen. Our highest priority is control of the sensors. We must find Spock.
I'll handle it, Captain. Remember, I was a physicist when I first joined the Enterprise.
Physicist?
Captain, look!
Dude, what is that thing?
A strange alien.
Thanks.
I've seen a lot of life forms in my time, but I've never seen anything like that.
Actually, I thought it looked like a spike in Devilman.
No, the Devman has a much more curved back and much more distinct patterns on its skin.
They could be from the same evolutionary stock.
No, look at the way the second forearm juts from its thorax. They're not at all alike.
I'm sure this is fascinating, but right now I have other concerns.
You know, I wouldn't want that alien upset with me.
In my opinion, Captain, it's the only way to save Spock in this ship.
But I know how to defend myself. Transporting away is the best defense.
You get no response.
Nasty looking thing.
Alright, well, let's do what Spock would do. Let's scan it.
Captain, I'm picking up strange readings around the alien. It's as though it's continually popping in and out of reality.
Then how come we don't see any flicker?
It cycles between our space and something else. Once every millisecond. Too fast for the human eye to follow.
What?
Captain, what happened?
It appears our alien friend likes its privacy.
Oh, okay, well.
The Cossacks have locked the door, Captain.
Captain, there's some sort of barriers on the walls and the doors. Our sensors cannot penetrate it.
The door to auxiliary control. The panel next to it indicates that it is locked.
I can't seem to get any response from this control, Captain. It looks like it's being bypassed.
I mean, when in doubt, just shoot it, right?
A single life form, non-terrestrial, carbon-based. It doesn't seem to be doing anything to our controls. In fact, it's not doing much of anything.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with the medical tricorder, Captain.
God, there must be so many, like, vocal lines in this game. I love it.
Captain, I'm getting a sensor reading on the alien. I'm sure Dr. McCoy will find this data very interesting.
Okay. Let's go talk to McCoy. I think sickbay was one of the options, right? Auxiliary control, sickbay. Transport room, okay.
Well, Jim, I leave you alone for 5 minutes and look at the mess you've made.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Jim, what is going on out there?
Spock is gone, Bones. He was transporting off the bridge, and then he vanished, and then this alien appeared in auxiliary control.
An alien kidnapped Spock? Why?
I don't know. We managed to get a medical scan.
Jim, this says our invaders are Vorians.
Vurians, but they're extinct. They died out at the time that Cochrane invented the warp drive. They were slaughtered in the Three Systems War.
Jim, I know my history, but I also know my anatomy. The alien in auxiliary control is a Vorian. There's only one strange thing.
What's that?
This creature isn't capable of doing some of the things that you described. It's an ordinary Vorian. No special organs, no unusual brain patterns, nothing that traditionally suggests superhuman feats.
Can you neutralize it, Bones?
Actually, it's a female.
Ooh.
And yes, I know of something that can incapacitate it without harming it. A gas mixture. You'll have to pump large quantities into auxiliary control for it to be effective, but it should work almost immediately. Here's the gas, Jim. Be careful with it. There hasn't been a Vorian in 150 years.
All right. Was there a environmental control area? Sick bay, transporter room.
Captain, where would you like to be transported?
Send us to sickbay, Mr. Kyle. Send us to engineering, Mr. Kyle. Send us to auxiliary control, Mr. Kyle. We'll transport later, Mr. Kyle.
All right. Well, before we do that, I want to visit engineering.
Captain, there has been an explosion near the shuttle bay. I'm fine. There has been no significant damage.
Any luck communicating with Starfleet Command?
I have made contact with the light cruiser USS Jefferson, sir. It will reach the edge of Antares Rift in 16 hours. The rift is playing havoc with communications.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kirk out.
I want to go talk to Scotty really quick.
Captain, I got bad news for you. This rift is affecting the hull of the ship. Our hull integrity is dropping fast.
How bad is it, Scotty?
It's at 92% and dropping rapidly. According to our system specs, if it drops below 63%...
Put as much powers as you can to the shields. Use them to support our hull integrity. Divert as much power as you can to the sensors. Let's find out what's causing this. Evacuate all people from the outer decks. Divert power from life support on those decks evenly to shields and sensors. Put as much powers as you can to the shields. Use them to support our hull integrity. Evacuate all people from the outer decks. Divert power from life support on those decks evenly to shields and sensors.
Captain, that'll only add about 2% to the shields and sensors.
Do it, Mr. Scott.
Aye, Captain.
Okay, well, maybe that was the wrong choice.
Captain, is it too late to put in a request for an early retirement?
Scotty, if we hit any more of these random detonations, it'll be mandatory retirement for all of us.
Actually, Captain, I was hoping for a better pension.
You know, it just wouldn't be the Enterprise without a crisis.
Sometimes I wish space were a little more predictable than it is. Captain, surely you must have a plan.
Of course I do. I just need to find out what it is, that's all.
Oh, that's very reassuring, Captain.
Mr. Scott looks a bit more frazzled than usual, Captain.
Well, what do you expect, man? I'm not a miracle worker. There's only so much a person can do.
All right. Well, I guess we're not doing much. I thought he like. Where are you going, Kirk? I thought Scotty might have some way to distribute the thing through environmental controls. Guess not.
It seems like we need a larger hole to pump the gas into the room.
A larger hole, huh?
It appears the alien doesn't want us in auxiliary control, Captain.
If this continues, we won't be in auxiliary control or anywhere else.
Okay, so I guess we're transporting. Or can I transport the actual thing?
Captain, where would you like to be transported?
Send us to sickbay, Mr. Kyle. Send us to engineering, Mr. Kyle. Send us to auxiliary control, Mr. Kyle. We'll transport later. Send us to sickbay. Send us to auxiliary control.
Yes, sir.
Energize.
Captain, didn't Dr. McCoy say we had to pump it in through life support?
Well, wait a minute, where's...
Captain, the gas will only affect Vurians.
Alright, well, where's... I was looking for life support. Like, that's...
This screen shows the layout on this deck. The door directly ahead of you leads to the auxiliary control. The deck integrity monitor. Nothing on this deck.
Captain, the intruder has locked auxiliary control.
Yeah, no crap, Sherlock. Alright, we need to figure out how to get something on life support. It's got to be engineering. That's what I thought. Like, I figured life support would be...
Impulse engine fuel control systems. This system monitors fuel usage in the impulse engines. Deflector control grid. Life support control system.
There we go. Life support control grid.
Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the life support pump, then use the controls. Not in there, Captain. Put the...
Life support control systems. This monitors and controls the This seems pointless. Artificial gravity control. Deflector control. Deflector control. Life support control system. Life support control. Life support control. Life support control system.
Captain, we have a hull breach inside the Jeffries tube. It's going to be a while before I can let anyone in there.
Any other good news, Mr. Scott?
Keep away from that control! The life support controls are only to be used in an emergency.
This is an emergency, Scotty.
Well, Captain, if you absolutely have to use the life support controls, it should be one of the senior officers.
If we need to use them, Scotty, I'll do it.
Nothing unusual, Captain.
Laddie, do you know what you're doing? That's delicate equipment.
Oh my god, Scotty. Like...
Laddie.
Fine, Scotty. You do it.
Captain, the controls are working just fine. The first rule of an engineer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the life support pump, then use the controls.
Where is the life support pump?
This device stores special chemicals that are pumped into the ship.
Okay. Jeez, oh Pete. God. So fickle.
I wish Dr. McCoy had given me the specs on that gas injection system. It looks like a rather clumsy fit.
I'll do it, Scotty.
You'd think that Dr. McCoy would have some respect for engineering.
Okay.
Let's see how our alien friend likes Dr. McCoy's medicine.
Probably as much as we do, Hikaru.
Mr. Kyle, can you transport me to auxiliary control?
Aye, sir. But I have to remind you how dangerous intership transporting can be. We've really been pushing our luck today.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Kyle, but we have to take the risk.
Look, something's happening.
Oh, bye-bye. Okay, well.
That's odd. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched navigation. What's going on? That's odd. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched the helm. Everything seems to be working. Library computer, external sensors. Mr. Sulu, see if you can find where the Vurian went. Maybe that will lead us to Spock.
Captain, I'm detecting the Vurian. She seems to have vanished through a rift in space.
Oh, okay.
I have the coordinates of her
stuff.
last known location.
Normal, interdimensional space.
Kirk to Scott. Come in, Scotty. Kirk to Uhura. Come in. Kirk to sick bay. Computer. Kirk to Scott. Come in, Scotty.
Captain, the hull degradation is continuing. It's currently below 92%, but at the rate it's dropping, we have less than an hour before the ship is destroyed.
Okay.
Kirk to Scott. Come Kirk to Uhura.
Captain, I've moved operations to Galileo 2 shuttlecraft. I've sent a message to Starfleet Command, and I've rerouted internal communications to run from here.
Lieutenant Uhura, what happens if the shuttle bay is hit by an explosion? That's one of the most vulnerable areas on the ship.
That's a risk I'm prepared to take, Mr. Sulu. I've activated the shuttle's shields for protection.
Good. Be prepared to evacuate the shuttle on my signal. Kirk out.
I guess we gotta go to the transporter room.
Mr. Kyle, you have the coordinates where the alien teleported?
Captain, you're asking me to transport you into another dimension. I may not be able to lock onto you there.
I'm aware of the risk, Mr. Kyle. You have your orders.
Aye, sir.
It's funny because, like, with Mr. Kyle here, he's played by like a younger actor in Strange New Worlds that I'm watching currently. Like, while I'm playing this, Strange New Worlds is just had its second episode, so it's very interesting to see some of these characters in their younger forms.
I have transported to many strange places in my day, but beaming into an alien dimension is something entirely unique. Only the extreme risk to my ship and my friend Spock would cause me to take such a drastic risk.
This doesn't look like a nice place to visit.
There's the Vurian. I don't see Spock.
He's got to be around here somewhere.
What is that, materia?
No effect, Captain. I don't have enough knowledge of Vurian anatomy.
It's a female of its race, Captain. I'm afraid my tricorder doesn't have much information on Vurians.
A Vurian. The alien doesn't appear to be noticing you.
Dude, he's like making snow angels. What are they? What?
Although it looks like common dirt, the ground in this strange place feels softer, spongier. Each footstep you take here feels strange. This bright green gemstone looks like green-tinted quartz.
Okay. So we're picking up materia now.
What are we doing here? Why did we come here?
Captain?
There's no way back. We'll never find Spock. We're trapped here forever, and it's all my fault. I knew the Antares Rift was dangerous. I should never have let the ship go in there.
Captain?
But let's find Spock.
Interesting.
That's interesting. These stones check out as organic matter.
Oop, crap.
Nothing wrong with them.
So if it's organic matter, then we should be able to scan it with a medical tricorder.
Fascinating. This stone is giving off a pattern similar to the brainwave pattern of Vulcans and other psionic creatures.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this. It's as though someone else were controlling my actions.
Okay, self-aware game. Well, it looks like there's other ones, so is this one?
Why are you reaching for your phaser, Mr. Sulu?
Captain.
Walker, I saw you sneaking up on me.
Sir.
You're all against me. You've gotten rid of Spock, now me. Who's next, Scotty, Uhura? Or are they part of this too?
Captain, snap out of it.
Something is definitely wrong. Such intense emotions.
Oh, is this like Discovery Season 4, where we use, instead of using like particles or ferment or whatever to convey emotion, maybe these are rocks that convey emotion?
I heard that, Mr. Sulu.
I didn't say anything.
You've always been saying things behind my back. You've always said I don't have enough discipline, that I don't respect my crew. You're insubordinate, Mr. Sulu.
Get hold of yourself, Captain.
What on earth was I saying? I'm sorry, Mr. Sulu, that was not...
Captain, I think we better get out of here as soon as possible.
Well, I've got more rocks to pick up. I think there's that one, and then I think there's that one up there. Seem to be a lot of these blue ones laying around, though.
This place reminds me of Deneva. I lost my brother there. He was a few years younger than I was, and there were times when he annoyed me.
Captain?
And now he's gone. Gone. I'll never see him again. Never tell him... tell him...
Captain, snap out of it.
This place must be getting to me.
It's funny because in Strange New Worlds, we met Kirk's brother, Sam Kirk. So now he's sitting here talking about, God, is this so...
No effect.
Is this one? Yeah, I think that's one too. Alright, so it seems like each rock enlists an emotion.
Don't worry, Mr. Walker, I'll protect
Blue
you.
is...
Sir? Sulu, Checo. You know, I may never have told you this before, but I care for you all more than I can tell. Sulu, with your dedication, your unwavering sense of responsibility...
Captain, are you talking about me?
Checo, I've always been impressed by your enthusiasm. All those wonderful Russian jokes. Your humanity.
Captain?
And you, Mr. Walker, with your rugged determination. I'll bet you had more girlfriends than anyone in the history of the Academy.
Actually, sir, I'm celibate.
What was I just saying?
Okay.
I'll get them, Captain.
It's a big old
Wait,
pile.
we need something to handle them with. Mr. Walker, handling single stones produced intense emotions. A cache of these stones.
You're right, sir.
So we probably need something to hold them. I don't think we have anything yet.
Greetings, Lord Kirk. I am Eminata. I regret the discomfort that I put you through on your ship. I wish only to preserve my joy by serving the Savant.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my ship? Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here?
I was a lone soldier, fleeing the massacres that followed the Three Systems War. I was heavily outnumbered. In desperation, I attempted to use my son's gravity well to propel my ship into a high warp velocity, so I could escape the pursuit.
I remember reading about that war in my history class at the Academy.
I was warped into the Antares sector. I traveled through a dimensional rift into this place. The Savant sustained me and gave me joy where there was once only despair. I have been here ever since. The Savant is now summoned, Lord Kirk. He awaits, not many footsteps from here, by the fountainhead. Seek him.
Are you willing to help me? Where is Spock?
The Lord Spock is not far. His mind dances in the bliss of this place. He would welcome you. It is not a long or difficult search to find him.
Okay.
The Savant awaits. I am unimportant compared to him. Go to him at once.
I will. You are the last of your race. That makes you Can you talk about the Savant? Give us a chance to know. I will. You are the last of your race.
Physical forms are unimportant.
Oh.
A species is only a similarity of material form, constructed from genetic instructions. Only emotions matter.
Are you willing to help me, Emin? What were you doing on my ship?
The Savant empowered me to remove any psionically adept being from your ship, and to prevent you from following him. It was not our intention to do you harm. The Savant awaits.
I will. Can you talk about the Savant?
Nothing I can say will truly prepare you for what awaits.
Oh boy.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Possibly. I am aware of your ship's distress. I can bring it to the attention of the Savant. It may help.
Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock. What is the Savant? I would appreciate the Savant being informed. Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock. What is the Savant?
A being found that the physical form impaired his emotions, and so he discarded it as a lord discards his raiment. An entity of great benevolence and joy. Through my psionic talents, we are linked in ecstasy eternal.
Where is this
Savant?
Everywhere. When one is an entity, one transcends the limitations of space, time, and dimension. But the Savant prefers to center its thoughts at the fountainhead, which is quite close.
Alright, let's go talk to the Savant, whatever that is.
I am the Savant.
Oh, I'm getting Star Trek 5
I wish
vibes here.
you and all entities nothing but joy.
Who are you? Why do you ensnare others against their will? Release Spock at once and allow us to return to our ship. Who are you?
Once, eons ago, I was akin to you. A creature of flesh and pain. But I released myself from these bonds and became an entity of pure emotion. And I came to this place to find a shelter from the cares of the universe. Captain, you misunderstand me. It is not my will to bring harm to any creature. I have taken two creatures that are without the most important thing in existence, joy, and given it to them in infinite variety and abundance. The Vurian was filled with despair at the death of her race. She was overwhelmed by sorrow and grief. I have healed her of these afflictions forever. As for the Vulcan, he has been conditioned to deny his emotions. I am bringing him in contact with a part of himself that will enhance his life.
Oh.
It is a gift of love.
You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think them to be, without their consent. Get a life. You can't just sit around feeling happy for eternity. What does that accomplish? Love? Spock doesn't want your gift. He doesn't need your gift. Release him and let us return to our ship. You have no right to inflict him.
I give them an eternity of joy. Is that not every creature's desire? How can granting a subliminal desire be beyond my rights?
That is the most arrogant piece of presumption I have ever heard. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner? Do you honestly believe that because what you do may benefit them, that the ends justify the means? That is the most... Do you honestly believe...
Yes, Captain. For such a great good as that which I provide, the ends do justify the means. I will send you back to your own ship and give you safe passage through the Antares Rift if you wish.
Is that another rock?
It's just a pouch, Captain.
Okay.
It's some kind of life pod, Captain. I believe it is a Vurian design. It's some kind of life pod, Captain. I believe it is a Vurian design. It's some kind of life pod, Captain. Captain, the readings are incomprehensible. The tricorder has no idea what all these waveforms represent.
I mean, can we find Spock? Like what? Ah, Spock.
Spock, what have they done to you?
Fascinating. Emotional intensity of a previously unknown level.
Ooh.
Our link with the Savant acts as an amplifier. The more minds in union with him, the greater the level of emotion. And happiness is a powerful emotion.
Spock, do you want this?
Happiness is a human desire, Captain. I am a Vulcan. I want to be free of emotions. This is the antithesis of my desires.
Spock!
I shall try to tell you what I know. The emotions make it difficult to communicate. The creature that has done this is called the Savant. A being of great power that has transformed itself into a creature of living emotion. It can form a link with any creature with psionic abilities, including Vulcans. It taps into latent emotions and amplifies them, using them to increase its emotional stability.
What happens if it gets cut off from you and the Vurian?
It would be alone, but could cope. We enhance its enjoyment, but we are not essential to its survival. We're like a backup system.
Oh.
It relies on us for emotional support.
Aw, just like me, I rely on Spock for emotional support.
Exist without us. Captain, I recommend you negotiate with Savant to escape this place. I am expendable.
Expendable? Spock, I see that these emotions have given you a sense of humor. If we can find a weakness, we might be able to take you with us. What can you tell us, Spock? Spock, can you negotiate with the Savant on our behalf? Spock, we found some very strange stones. What are they?
This entire pocket dimension is organic and psionic. In order to maintain the Savant's life force, negative emotions that are suppressed might be absorbed in mineral-like pockets beneath the surface of this dimension. Captain.
Expendable? If we can find a weakness, we might be able to take you with us.
Its reliance on emotion is its main weakness. It is a creature of intense needs. And
like most people.
Despite having millions of years of joy, it still retains a subconscious fear of losing its joy, of experiencing negative emotions. Captain.
Expendable? Spock, I see that these emotions have given you a sense of humor. If we can find a weakness, expendable?
As usual, your illogic is beyond comprehension, Captain.
That's normal.
If I were human, I might find it delightful.
You get no response.
Captain, the tricorder registers him as Spock.
Okay, thanks, Sulu. Captain Obvious.
Captain, may I suggest...
We may not have time, Lieutenant. Even so, rescuing Spock is our highest priority. Let's get moving.
Check off.
Captain, Mr. Spock is normal except for accelerated brain activity in the areas of his brain that control psionic abilities. He is currently in a mind meld.
Interesting. The Savant's emotional emanation overpowers this stone's effect.
Alright, well, let's...
Kirk to Enterprise. Come in, Enterprise.
So much for calling for a lift home.
Well... He said taking him out of the equation, so I'm guessing I can...
I understand, Mr. Chekhov. It is quite logical.
Captain, Mr. Spock is unconscious. No unusual brain activities. Nothing that you would not expect from an unconscious Vulcan.
What is... I mean... Definitely some Star Trek V vibes here. Like... I keep on thinking that face right there is Havoc from the X-Force. Scott Summers' brother.
Greetings, Lord Kirk. I suspect you have come to render me as unconscious as your comrade.
Oh, okay.
It is no longer in my power to resist.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Through the Savant, I know your desires. Why should I help release the poor Vulcan into a life of misery?
Because I need him to save the lives of over 400 people on the ship. Because Spock does not want artificial joy. He does not want this lie. Because I need him to... Because Spock does not want...
Very well, Captain. I will help you.
I see no need for the medical kit here, Captain. Captain, its anatomy is completely alien.
Oh.
I'm afraid the medical kit will not do much good.
Kirk, where are you going? Alright, so we needed something to... Can I pick this up?
I'll get them, Captain.
Okay.
I've put them in the pouch we found. Boy, am I getting an odd feeling from these stones.
Well, I'm assuming those are the stones we need. I think those were the ones that elicited fear? Or sadness? I would assume because it's blue, so...
Welcome. Have you come to ask for transportation back to your ship?
Not without Spock. Savant, isn't there anything I can do to make you see reason? Release Spock, or we will... Not without Spock. Savant, isn't there any...
Captain, I do see reason. My intellect is many orders of magnitude beyond yours. You should trust my judgment.
I trust Spock's judgment, and you're imprisoning his free will. Savant, creatures like ourselves need to be free to make mistakes and to learn from them. Only then can our intellects advance the many orders of magnitude that are needed to equal yours. Really? I see you have great power and great splendor, but I don't see great wisdom. I trust Spock's judgment, and you're imprisoning his free will. Savant, creatures like ourselves need to be...
But I can elevate him to my level without any suffering. He need not experience the hardships that my race
for everything,
experienced.
don't you?
Is this not an extreme act of mercy?
Alright.
You disturb my rest. Fortunately, I am not alone in bliss. Do not use such a tactic again on me. I warn you. What is this? What am I feeling? What have you done?
What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations? Life isn't all happiness and joy. It's time you experienced a reality check. Is that sadness you're feeling, Savant? It couldn't be that those inferior humans have outwitted your great wisdom, could it? What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations?
Please, have mercy.
Oh, God.
I would rather die than experience such sorrow.
If you will listen to reason, I will release you. Free Spock and return us to our ship. You really are a crybaby. Go ahead and bawl your head off. If you will listen to reason, I will release you.
I do not wish to reward violence, Captain.
Taking Spock against his will is an act of violence too, Savant. No entity, no matter how wise, can impose eternity on another creature. Even the most authoritarian gods of myth never strip their subjects of their free will.
I remain unconvinced, Captain. But I am too aggrieved to argue. You and your scientist will be returned to your craft. Live long and prosper, James Kirk. Live well in your universe. And I shall try to live well in mine.
Okay. Yay! We just basically sat
Captain's log. We are out of the Antares Rift and are on our way to Starbase 8. The Enterprise has extensive repairs scheduled. All crew members, including First Officer Spock, are safely aboard.
So, Spock, you mean you had an eternity of pure enjoyment and you gave it up?
Affirmative, Doctor.
That has to be the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Humans spend their entire lifetime dreaming of an eternity of pleasure.
As do animals in the field. Perhaps humans are meant to be better than that. Perhaps we should dream of greatness and not simple gratification.
Greatness is a term subject to individual interpretation, Captain. The Savant viewed the pursuit of greatness as useless, because all great deeds and accomplishments are destined to be forgotten in cosmic terms.
A cosmic being thinks in cosmic terms, Spock. But somehow that philosophy overlooks a lot of life's little pleasures. There's just one thing that bothers me about the whole thing.
Really, Doctor?
Spock finally got to enjoy himself, and
I
I
love
wasn't
this
there to
music.
see it. Now that's something worth
I love how it
remembering.
breaks for just a moment.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results of your recent performance. Outstanding work, Jim. Keep up the good work. Kate out.